stand with me for a word of prayer? Dear God, thank you for bringing us together for this special meeting. Please give us wisdom to act in the best interest of everybody here and everybody who lives in this city. We ask for special prayers at this time for our president, for our governor, for all who are in leadership of the country, to help us in this unprecedented attack from a virus that we cannot see. We ask that you bring a spirit of calm, of peace, a spirit of unity. We can all work together for the better good of everyone who lives in our area. In Jesus Christ's precious name, we ask these things. Amen.
Amen.
Would you please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. The first item on the agenda is the mayor's report. I'll keep this very short. I'd like to thank our local media for coming and covering this meeting for the benefit of our residents to be able to hear. I'd like to thank each of the staff who's here today and our city manager and our city attorney, the other commissioners. I'd especially like to thank our city manager and our city attorney for quickly drafting a resolution for this situation and did a great job with that, and I appreciate it very much. For the second time in less than 2 years, we in Lynn Haven are in an emergency situation, but I have no doubt that we will all rise to the occasion with calmness and with unity and peace, and we will overcome this like we have what's happened in the past. I did ask at our last commission meeting that staff devise a plan in case we should need it, an emergency plan. I know that all of you as directors who are here, the staff, I want to thank you for the diligent work you've been doing on that, the city manager for her leadership in helping that to happen. And we will look forward next Tuesday at our commission meeting to hearing your updates and how the city is going to be managing in this situation. So I'd like to commend all of you for that hard work, especially our fire chief, John DeLange, who's our emergency director, and our police chief, Ricky Ramey, who is our police director at this time, as well as Officer Enfinger for all that he's doing as a leadership position during this time. One thing that I would like to ask for a motion for, because even though this will be an emergency situation, I would like for the commission to be in unity about these decisions. And one thing that I have spoken with the city manager that I would like to ask you to approve, I need a motion and an approval, please, today, if we can do this, is that we immediately suspend utility shutoffs in the city of Lynn Haven until further notice. Those shutoffs are scheduled for tomorrow, and we have many people who've been laid off. We have people who cannot work because they're keeping small children at home, and I think that it's important that we keep water flowing in everyone's home at this time so that they can continue with the hand washing and the hygiene that we're asking for. So we're asking that those people who are able to pay to please do so. We have the drop-off box at the city utility drive-through. You can put your payments through that way. Also, our city manager has been working to make payment by credit cards something that will be possible, and she'll be talking about that later, that you can call in a credit card number for permitting and those kinds of things. So that will be coming. So at this time, during the mayor's report, if I could ask for a motion for approval for no utility shutoffs until further notice for those who are unable to pay at this time.
So moved.
Second.
I appreciate that. There was no, is there any objection or any concerns from the others here? Is there any from the public objections or concerns? Mrs. Gaynor, would you please call the roll for approval?
Commissioner Tender?
Yes.
Commissioner Russell?
Yes.
Commissioner Perno?
Yes.
Commissioner Aldridge?
Yes.
Mayor Anderson?
Yes. So I thank you for that approval. I've also spoken in the last 24 hours with several of our church leaders, and I know Mrs. Gaynor has been doing the same thing. I did speak with Reverend Tom Daniel just in the last few hours, and they are arranging for online church services with First Baptist Church, one of the larger churches here, and there will be others doing the same. So I just wanted to encourage our residents who are concerned about church that they're going to have a way to do that, and our church leaders are working very hard to make that happen. And then I want us to keep in mind that many have been laid off because this is a service industry, and especially those who have children in school, small children, single parents are having to stay home with those children, and then also at least one parent in many cases is having to stay home. So this has impacted income in many ways, and so I know we're going to be understanding as we move forward. That's all I have until we move on to the approval of the resolution, so I would like to give each Commissioner at this time a moment to say anything they'd like to say regarding the situation. Commissioner Tender?
Well, I certainly agree with this that we're doing now, the water and everything like that. I think we just need to encourage everybody to, like you said, stay calm and wash your hands, and wash your hands. And that's about it. And I think we'll nip it in the bud. I think we're going to get ahead of it, and we'll be over it in no time. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Russell?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to make sure everybody, or reiterate your words, you know, that the city, I appreciate the employees that are still here trying to keep us moving. And I want to thank John Delanger for his constant updates for us with what's going on with the DEM and the city. And also thank Vicki for her work. So that's all I've got, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Aldridge.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I'll reiterate what my colleagues have said here. It's very, very important that we stay calm during this situation. I do want to ensure that the City of Lynn Haven, we're taking our staff, understands the seriousness of or nature of this situation that we're in. But we're putting together a plan. We're going to make sure we get through this together. And I'm thankful for everyone for their patience, and I'm thankful for all the city for their hard work that you're putting in. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Perno?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank everybody in the room. I'd like to thank everybody at the table, and just everybody be diligent and flatten the curve. That's what we got to do over the next 2 weeks, and do everything we can to do it. So,
Thank you, Commissioner Perno. Item number 5 is City Manager's Report. Mrs. Gaynor, is there anything you'd like to say today?
A couple of things, Mayor. First, just let me say thank you to the staff. Thank you to the commission for just being so supportive of us and the staff, of making sure that the city continues to run and be effective. And we have spent a lot of time in meetings just hashing out all the what-if scenarios, making sure that we are proactive in everything we do. Thank you, John Delanger, working with one of our consultants to put together a plan. We have a few things that we're going to meet with department heads tomorrow on our plan, and then after that we should be able to bring that before the commission and have that in place. We have been in constant contact. That is very important to me, that our staff feels that they are safe, that we are thinking about them, because a happy staff makes us more productive, and we want to make sure that we don't lack on any of the services for the citizens of the city of Lynn Haven. So we are cognizant of the fact that some staff members may have spouses that may be laid off or cut in pay, may have some challenges, and we're working through all of those issues case by case basis. And we have gone to, or will be able to, if anything happens, many staff members to work from home. We've already implemented the VPN by our IT person that will have access to all of those electronic devices and network that we need to be able to work from home, if that is the case. Staff has been very, very diligent about helping residents who have questions about how they can pay their utilities. You can pay your utilities by Dropbox. We have a Dropbox right up front. Customer service, you can also pay your utilities online. And we are one of the only municipalities that actually has a drive-through. So you can drop them off as well. But we do ask any neighbors that know of some of our seniors who maybe cannot come out, or maybe enjoy coming out just to see some of our faces and say hello, that you would maybe volunteer to drop off their payment in the Dropbox and do that for them, because that would just save them the exposure at this particular time. Also, with permitting, we're doing some of the same things. We do have a credit card form that we've developed, and now we can actually take credit card payments online for plans and permitting cost. And so if you'll see the building department, they'll be able to help you with some of these things as well. I feel very confident we are where we are because we have a very confident staff and a very competent staff to get through this time. So, Mayor, with that said, I will just ask John DeLonge if he has any other remarks that he wants to come up and share with the commission at this time. He is surely welcome to do so.
Thank you, Ms. Vicky. Just a real short brief. As I get these updates from the state and the county, we'll be sending them out. First of all, I want to thank the commission for supporting our staff and my staff at the station for all the work that they're doing and the rest of the city employees. We couldn't do this without everybody. So commendments to you guys for supporting us to allow us to do our job. As you make this decision later on today, just be informed that we will be filing for reimbursement through the FEMA. I'll be handling all that unless directed otherwise. And if you have any questions, I'm always got my phone on me, so you can reach out to me.
Thank you so much for all that you do.
All right,
Thank you,
thank you.
Chief. Thank you, John. Anything else, Mrs.
And
Gaines?
that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 6 is the city attorney's report. Mr. Albritton.
Mayor, no report at this time.
Thank you so much, and I'd again like to thank you for your quick work on this resolution. Great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
At this time, we do not have, I think we have 1 or 2 members of the public here. I'd like to ask if there's any public commentary. There appears to be none. We will be meeting at our regularly scheduled time next Tuesday for our commission meeting. At this time, the Florida Sunshine Laws, as they are in effect, still ask for public access to meetings, and that could change as we move along. But at this time, I would like to encourage residents to please, as much as you can, to participate by watching online. Also, if you'd like to email comments that you want to make at a meeting, if you would email those to myself or other members of the commission, we would be happy to read those comments to you or questions that you may have. We'd be reading those out in the public meeting if you prefer not to come. So we'll try to find creative ways so that everybody can be interactive and participate without having to put themselves at risk. But at this time, the meetings will remain public until something is said or done, if it is by the governor or the legislature. Consent agenda, there is none. Old business, there is none. New business is discussion and possible approval of resolution number 2020-03-313 to declare local state of emergency in Lynn Haven due to the coronavirus COVID-19. This is a resolution and proclamation of the City of Lynn Haven, Florida, proclaiming the existence of a state of emergency regarding novel coronavirus disease 2019, or known as COVID-19. Whereas novel coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19, is a severe acute respiratory illness that can spread among humans through respiratory transmission and presents with symptoms similar to those of influenza. And whereas the World Health Organization previously declared COVID-19 a public health emergency of international concern. And whereas on March 1st, 2020, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, declared a national emergency related to COVID-19 outbreak. And whereas on March 1st, 2020, Ron DeSantis, Governor of the State of Florida, issued Executive Order Number 2051, directing the Florida Department of Health to issue a public health emergency. And whereas on March 1st, 2020, the State Surgeon General and State Health Officer declared that a public health emergency exists in the state of Florida as a result of COVID-19. And whereas on March 9th, 2020, Governor DeSantis declared that a state of emergency exists in the state of Florida as a result of the continued spread of COVID-19. And whereas COVID-19 has created or imminently threatens to create conditions that may severely affect the public health, safety, welfare, and security of the citizens, residents, and visitors of the city of Lynn Haven, Florida. And whereas in order to mitigate, to prevent these impacts, the City Commission of the City of Lynn Haven, Florida finds that it is necessary to declare a state of emergency within the entire incorporated limits of the City of Lynn Haven, pursuant to the Code of Ordinances of the City of Lynn Haven, Florida, and the city's home rule authority, including that set forth in Article 7, Section 2B, Florida Constitution, and Section 166-021, Florida statutes. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Commission of Lynn Haven to enact an emergency declaration in a special meeting on this 18th day of March 2020 related to the city's response to the health emergency presented by COVID-19. Section 1, the foregoing findings are true and correct and are hereby adopted and incorporated herein. Section 2, a state of emergency exists and is declared within the entire incorporated limits of the City of Lynn Haven. Section 3, This emergency requires the assistance of state and federal aid, municipal aid, without delay to effect an immediate recovery of said emergency impact on the citizens of Lynn Haven. Section 4, for the betterment and protection of the citizens of the city of Lynn Haven, will approve and adopt those protective measures implemented by the state of Florida and county of Bay County, Florida. Section 5, pursuant to Florida Statute 252-38, the duration of this declaration of emergency shall be for 7 days and may be extended in 7-day increments as approved by the City Commission. Section 6, in lieu of conducting in-person business with the city, payments and other city business may be conducted electronically to ensure the well-being and safety of residents and city staff. Section 7, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its final passage, and upon the motion and vote I'm about to ask for, if it should be approved, this will be passed, approved, and adopted by the City Commission of the City of Lynn Haven, Florida, at its special meeting on March 18th, 2020. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion regarding the resolution? There appears to be none from the commission. Is there any from the staff or the public? There appears to be none. Mrs. Gaynor, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Russell,
Yes.
Commissioner Tender, Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Aldridge,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. So the motion is passed. And I would say one more time that we are passing this state of emergency declaration in line with what Bay County has done, and in line with what the state of Florida, and in line with what the president has done, not in any way to cause panic, to cause fear, just to make sure that we are able to get those things that we need in a timely manner. So please stay peaceful, calm, as everyone has said, follow the put out by the Florida Department of Health. Be well, pray for each other, love each other, be kind to each other, and we will get through this together. Thank you. The meeting is adjourned.
Okay.